Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be this glittery icicles nail set. So I'm starting off with this dark blue from Madam Glam, this base gel. It's actually like a rubber base, and this top coat from Madam Glam as well. The two larger ones were actually from this past year's advent calendar. So if you're wondering where I got those. So I'm starting off with this, this is actually like a top coat. I think it's called Christmas Eve Sky, and it's a top coat with glitter on them. I wasn't using it as a top coat per se. I just like the glitters in them. I like the color of it, and I just like the idea of a sheer nail with background glitter. So I was using it just as regular gel. And then for the next three nails, I'm basically going to be doing a three-way ombre between the blue, this rubber base over here. So it's like this milky white with different flecks of white and silver and gold glitter in it. And then I'm going to be doing the top coat over here at the end, and I'm just going to use my ombre brush and kind of ombre the colors in between where they meet and just kind of creating a nice gradient. The dark blue that I'm using is actually from the Madam Glam Advent Calendar from 2023, but it's actually the same color as the dark blue from this 2024's Advent Calendar. They just kind of gave it a different name. So if you're wondering what that color is, it's that. And in case you wanted to recreate this set with those colors, you can actually create it with everything that comes from the Madam Glam Advent Calendar box. And that was just purely a coincidence, actually. So I top coated the top coat with the glitters in it in matte to do the snowflakes. I actually started doing the snowflake first while it was still shiny, but because it was a top coat, it had this very like slick top to it, not like wet or anything. Obviously it was a dry top coat, but because it was like shiny, the gel that I was using to create the snowflake just was slipping and sliding around because it didn't have any like grip to it. So then I just decided to go over it with a matte top coat so I can do the gel over top. And I did a very basic snowflake, but I think the snowflake is really pretty. It is kind of basic, and there's people who do like crazy elaborate snowflakes, and they're absolutely stunning as well. But I think even just this really simple snowflake is really beautiful, especially when it was as big as I did that blue one. You can just really see the detail, and I think it's really gorgeous. But for this nail, I wanted to do a slightly different snowflake design. So it's kind of similar. It's the same concept, using a dotting tool to create the dots and then a striper brush to just pull out. But I didn't do as many dots as you can see, and I don't really connect them. They kind of like the branches of the snowflake are kind of free floating a little bit. They're not touching each other, and they're not touching the center either. It just gave a little bit of a different look, and there are less dots and things going on. So a very simple snowflake design, but still very dramatic and very easy to do, which I love. So now I was just adding a bit more detail. So I was just adding a few more branches to the snowflakes over here. It was just looking a little bit empty. I wanted it to be a little bit more elaborate, but you can definitely skip that if you don't want to, or if you don't like how it looks. I decided I like how it looked in the end. While I was doing it, I was kind of unsure, but I think I like how it came out in the end. I really did enjoy doing these snowflakes. And like I said, they're really simple. So it's a great simple design and really easy to achieve. And then just as before, I am going to do some little dots around in blue, just to create a cohesive look. And then over there I kind of added an extra one. Sometimes when it comes to like these dots and things, you can get a little bit overboard, and once you start doing too many, it looks a little bit crowded, so I ended up just removing that. And then I'm going to be doing the icicles. So I'm just grabbing this white from Vettsy, and I'm going to be creating this kind of like icicle, kind of like hanging from maybe like a rooftop or a tree or something. And with this design, you definitely don't want to be perfect. The imperfection of it is what makes it look a little bit more realistic. This is going to get sugared, so you don't be too precise with the shape and everything, because once you add glitter on top of it, it kind of takes away from the shape as well. It kind of adds its own little bulk to it. But this was a great design because sometimes it's hard for me to draw straight lines, and ironically with this set, I was like forcing myself. I had to be like really mindful to like not do straight lines, because usually that's what we do want with certain types of nail designs. But with this one, I was just adding the tiniest little wiggle to my wrist and creating these different icicles and not being too precise with it, trying to just do it a little mindlessly, because when you try to start, if you start overthinking it, you might not get the look that you're going for, especially when you're purposely trying to make a crooked line. That's when it becomes the hardest to do. All of a sudden my striping skills were top notch while I was trying to make these little squiggles. But again, like I said, once you do the glitter over it, it kind of just covers up a little bit of the shape as well. So there's no need to be too perfect about it. and I love the effect that the glitters give. And I had forgotten that I didn't top coat the set before doing the white and the glitter and everything, so some of the glitters were kind of sticking to the blue gel polish that still had its tacky layer on it, so I was just using a little bit of alcohol and a lint-free wipe to just remove all of it. But I decided that even if there was like a little bit of extra glitter, it was fine because this whole set was glittery. And now I was going into top coat, and after I top coated that nail with the snowflake, I decided that I preferred it matte. Seeing it in comparison to the one with the white snowflake, I just loved the matte look of it. It looked icy, it looked like something was encapsulated in ice. It was such a cool look, so I actually ended up removing the top coat before curing it and leaving it matte. But I was just using a small brush over here to get in between my little icicles. That was a little bit like tedious, not tedious in the sense that like it was hard to do, but not completely necessary if you didn't want to per se. And then here I looked at it and I was like, no, I want to keep it matte. So anyway, this was the final set. I love how it came out. I feel like it kind of looks like you're looking out of a cabin or a house, and you're looking out at the winter sky and it's snowing and there are some icicles. I think it came out really, really cool. Let me know what you think of this set down below. I hope you are staying warm and have a happy new year, and I will see you all